Sorry for a bit of a delay. We actually have a 3-minute delay on the stream, so we're starting a bit over, a bit past one. As always, let me know if the sound and everything's all right. Hopefully it is. I didn't change any settings since the last time, but I do see my microphone sort of maxing out all the time. Let me try to reduce the volume. Let me know if that's better. Anyway, let's spin the daily spin just for fun. Why not? Let's see what happens. While I'm setting up the things on the side, I sort of rushed to get here, which is a 5K spin. Wow, amazing. That might be actually a big prize. I don't even know. All right. Let me see if everything's fine. I'm gonna try to pop out the chat somehow. Shit. Not really sure how to do it. Well, I guess I'll leave it as is for now, and I'm gonna be able to see your comments and try to answer as always. Not really sure what we're gonna be doing. Let me check the lobby. I opened a PLO25 table today. Same stakes that I played last week Sunday. No, was it? No, actually, last week Sunday was the 200 PLO. It was on Wednesday when I played the 25 PLO. I thought it was way more fun, way more informative for you guys, so probably gonna stick to these stakes. The Zoom pool looks a bit smaller than last time. Oh, in fact, I haven't seen this very often. There is no 1-2 zoom, so 200 PLO zoom is not running, but there is a 500 zoom. And in fact, the field is pretty good. Maybe I should even play that. Should I play that? Should I not play that? Nah, I suppose it's not going to be very informative for you, so what's the point? And it's going to be a bit boring if I one-table it. Maybe I could quickly set up the screen to 4-table, but nah. We'll stick to this 25 PLO game. Alright, let's just, as you can see, I already played one hand and I won it. It was nothing special. I mean, we can replay. We're not going to even replay. Like, it doesn't really matter what happened there. It was just pretty standard. Okay. Anyway, let's get going. I'm ready. Let's play some poker. I still haven't decided what kind of strategy I'm gonna implement today. I'm sort of tempted to just go very loose and try a lot of things, like maybe limp a lot of small blinds. Let me just check what's. I think I connected the. Yeah, again, I connected my headphones in the wrong hole, so to say. Anyway, now it's sorted. It's a lovely day outside today here in Malta. I don't know how's it wherever you are, but right now outside is just beautiful. Feels like summer already. Really nice. Am I gonna be that loose in this session? Oh, I'm gonna time out. Okay, that's one way to play. I was for a moment considering what I'm actually gonna play super loose. I think I'm gonna just try the super loose. You mean you've seen me play on the tighter side, very standard before. So let's just go a bit crazy today, and let me know in the chat if you prefer one or the other format, and what do you want me to do in the session in general. I don't plan to make it very long today. Probably a bit over an hour mark is the plan. But we'll see. Whoa. All right, let's defend the sand. I'm not gonna lead. If he bets, I'm definitely calling. I don't think there's a good reason to bet now. Let's just see what happens. We do win the hand. It's interesting to always see what kind of hand opponent decided to check down. In this case, it's very reasonable. I wouldn't even make a note on that. But if I would see that he just gave up with something that obviously is never winning, I would take a note of that, and in the future I would know that he perhaps doesn't bluff enough. I'm gonna call here. If he bets, he doesn't bet. I will not try to bluff this spot. I expect to lose most of the time, but I don't really have clean outs. Like an ace would maybe not even be that great. Now with the spade out there, I don't expect to be able to win by the river because I don't really want to bluff this hand, so I'm just going to give up with it. And in fact, my call on the button was quite loose, and that just goes with the theme, like whoever just tuned in. I'm going to play much looser today, just see what happens, how people react, no other reason. I don't expect to win with the strategy because I do not use the HUD, but I expect to learn quite a bit. Like, okay, this is really weird. The small 3-bet couldn't hit it. Maybe it was like a misclick or something, because he clicked it back. Seems very, very weird, very suspicious. But we'll see. Hopefully we see the showdown. It's a pretty decent hand to bluff. Now, I think I'm gonna bluff it twice. Depends who calls. This guy calls, I might not bluff it twice. All right. I'm gonna have to bluff and expect that he calls a lot. I do expect him to have spades in this spot, but what am I gonna do? I just have the worst hand. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I guess I don't have the auto rebuy, which is fun. We're gonna play different stack sizes. It's gonna be fun. So there's about 100 people in the Zoom pool right now. Okay, this is interesting. I'm not sure what to make of it. I mean, I can't really fold my hand. Definitely not folding the turn now. Especially like I have the eights. I could actually bluff, but I do have the 2 pairs, so bluffing would be a bit too much, unnecessary. Now we have a flush. I do feel like we do need to bet for value here. That's what I'm gonna do. Hope he has 2 pair or a set or something. He doesn't. Or maybe he doesn't. He folds, which would be, well, whatever. I don't even think I'm gonna be going into too many details today. Just having some fun. Hopefully answering some of your questions. If you guys have any. Okay, that's something to note as well, that he folds the 3-bet in position. Of course, it should happen. some of the time, but something to note. Maybe this player opens too wide and then he doesn't defend, or maybe he just doesn't defend. Okay, I think I'm just getting it in here against the squeeze. I'd rather just have it heads up. If he has aces, he does, and in fact he has aces and diamonds. So it sucks for us, but I don't really care. I think that was the best play to play here. Just calling, I don't really like it in that situation. I think I'm gonna, like, the auto rebuy if I lose this hand is gonna be to the minimum. So we're gonna play some 50 big blind stack, and why not? Why not? I mean, usually I was playing 100 big blinds on streams, so something different for you guys, something to see. Okay, I think I'm gonna just 3-bet and use the fact that I'm so short. Oh, this sucks. Clearly this sucks. In fact, probably at these stakes I can even safely fold, and I am gonna fold. At these stakes I don't expect people to 4-bet light that often. So once I see the 4-bet with my 3 hearts out there, not super connected kings, it's probably safe to fold. Alright, let's try a 3-bet one more time. In fact, that's a squeeze this time. SPR is gonna be very, very low, so we should love this situation. We're just gonna ship pretty much blind. I don't even care what kind of board it is. At this stage, we take it down. Very standard. I wonder if you would like to see me play more tables, though. Maybe I should just play like 4 tables. Let me know in the chat if that's what you would rather see. Because I don't feel like going too detailed into many spots today anyway, so maybe we could just have some fun and play 4 tables, replay occasional hand. I don't know what you guys think about it. Let me know if you prefer either way. Okay, this is not a great flop for us theoretically, but I'm gonna check call, see what happens. At 112, I'm gonna make a small bet. This is for value. I'm not really bluffing or doing something like that. At this stage, probably best to check, and then I have to decide whether I'm gonna call against his bet or not. So in fact, he did have this hand in 3-bet pre-flop, which is fine. Why not? Don't have to always do that. Yeah, I guess I'm not even gonna limp this hand, so we can just fast fold. You should always just fast fold whenever you can. Even like fold and show, you should really use it very, very rarely. Just basically maximize the amount of hands you play for the time that you play. And if you're interested in any hand, you can always look back in the replayer whenever it's a quieter moment at your tables. Alright, let's play this one. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm really tempted to play that 500 zoom. I think I will after winning this hand. Yeah, I'm not gonna check raise. And just check call. We have a decent stack to just, we can just get it in here. Hopefully he calls with something. I suppose he just gave up with whatever bullshit that he had. All right, I'm gonna have 2 tables of 500 zoom, and I'm gonna keep it off screen for you guys because I'm not sure I want to stream that. Maybe I should just have 1 table zoom, because the thing is I don't want to go through the process of setting up my HUD and everything right now, because it would mess up. Like, I don't like to have the HUD when I'm streaming. Reason being, it is a bit distracting in my opinion, so I'd rather keep it clean. So yeah, I'm just gonna play 1 table of 500 zoom on the side, and if there's any interesting hand coming up there, I'll bring it up in the replayer for you. How about that? Alright, well, this is unfortunate. We do have kings, but with the action the way it is, can probably safely fold. It feels interesting actually to play my 500 zoom table without the HUD, and I don't really feel that I'm at much disadvantage, just because most of the players in the pool right now, I sort of know them by now, or at least I'd like to think so, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so we have in the chat that 3 tables for playing and 1 for replay would be better than 4 maybe, but that's just, the 1 seems good as well. Yeah, actually 3 plus 1, it sounds great. I think I keep it at 1 right now, because I do have the higher stakes on the side, and hopefully, something cool comes up and we replay it. Potentially, we'll see. We'll see what happens there anyway. I'm sort of timed out. I would have folded the hand anyway, but it doesn't matter. I am gonna limp this if I had the chance. I didn't. Let me just double check what kind of pool I'm playing. Yeah, most of the people are people I know in the Zoom 500, which of course you guys don't see. But like I said, I am keen to bring up some replayer for you. Interestingly enough, so far nothing really happened in this 25 PLO game. Usually we have some fireworks. We see some funny hands, people doing some stupid mistakes. So far, none of that. Am I gonna call this? Yeah, let's just play. the way we set out to play, which is loose. And that's going to be actually quite a funny challenge for myself to, play loose on one table and play my regular game on the other table. Oh, this is nice. Let's hope he does have two pair or something. That would be cool. He doesn't. I suppose he had like a jack with side cards, which didn't have an ace. Okay, this guy. I'm tempted to just call. I mean, I'm gonna call. Okay, that didn't go very well. If he calls, I hate it, to be honest, but I will call. Unfortunately, that's not exactly good enough flop, but with RSPR, we will stack off. I want to see, if both of them put the money in, I'm probably just folding. Against just this guy, I'm not really happy to stick it in here, but I will. In fact, it's kings against kings. Oh wow. We backed into, yeah, a flush. It's unfortunate for him. In fact, he had the free roll on the flop, and then we got the backdoor. What do I think about his squeeze? Yeah, it's alright. It was okay. Now, in fact, let's open this chest. Let's see if PokerStars gives us more than $1 at this time. If you're listening in, PokerStars, this is a great time to promote your bullshit chests. Give me 1,000 or something. That would make some news. And no money. Serves you right. This is on tape, you bastards. Okay, this is a cool hand now. I will raise. I will raise for several reasons. We get it in really good very often. And I have a hand I need to think about a bit on the other table, so hopefully, he just folded, so I'm not even gonna bring it up for you. Or in fact I will, just for fun. I had a decision whether I wanna c-bet this flop. I opened early position, this guy was in the hand, and I did c-bet and took it down. Let's see how this plays out. Alright, I'll take it. Aces, get it in against king 10 4-4. What the hell was this guy doing? Okay, I'll take it. I'll mark him as a friendly guy, and I'll bring it up to you on the replayer just so that we can laugh at it one more time. The fuck was this? Okay, this is a 500 PLO, by the way, right? So are we really gonna have more silly hands at the 500 than the 25 zoom? What is happening to the world? Okay, beautiful. We backed into a super nice hand. I'm just gonna check raise here. Don't expect him to bet very often, but when he does, he's gonna see this little sneaky check raise by me, and let's see what he does. I don't think he can fold a ton here. I was just making a note on the other table about the special guy. So let's see, maybe he does find okay, interesting. We have this hand. We see a lead. We were the original raiser. I'm just gonna call. Okay, so I do suppose we're gonna see a 10 here, but from this guy. No, he actually slow played the 5. Well, how did that work out for you, sir? Pretty sweet. It's interesting that he found the call here with the 5. Not bad, definitely not bad, but interesting. Why did we sit out here? Did I time out or something? Hey, Robbie Expert, good to see you. Good to see you in the chat. Let me just bring this up for you guys. I don't think I'm gonna bet this for value. This guy led twice on this board. I think I'm just gonna knit it up and check it back. And he was just bluffing. Interesting spot to bluff. Very interesting spot to bluff. So yeah, Robbie Expert is saying, commenting on a 200, 400 PLO, heads up gets more viewers. That's true. People just want to see, people just want to have some fun, I suppose, you know, because like me playing is going to be definitely more informative for you guys. But I am going to sit out the next big blind and I'm going to comment on that 200, 400 PLO for a while. And if you guys start complaining, then I might switch back. But I actually like the idea because we don't have the 2-4 running that often. And it's between two very good players. And I do expect to see some fireworks there. So in fact, I was all over the place in this Zoom pool. I mean, not the Zoom pool, in this stream. I started with a 25 PLO game. I switched to 500 PLO off screen, and then brought up a few hands. And then now I'm just gonna switch to this, and we're gonna see the hand in the replayer. BerriSweet just won a very sweet pot, I think. Or who won the pot? What happened here? Oh, he did win an 80k pot just the hand before. We're gonna see what happened there. Probably something fun. Hey Gartman, thanks. Yeah, 500 Zoom tough games, huh? Not after we saw that King 10 4-4 4-bet by whoever that was. So let's do this for a bit and see how you guys like it. I still keep all my Zoom tables out there just in case. Yeah, the 500 Zoom right now looks pretty good. It is Sunday. Okay, so let's review this hand. What happened here? It's funny how the replayer always messes up the deep stack table. The ante tables. Like it assumes that the blinds are different, but it's a 200 400 game. It's not whatever it was. So wait, let's go back. It's just an open and a call. C-bet, normal sizing for this board. I mean, what else would you expect? Check call. Small sizing, that's interesting. Trueteller does that a lot. And so this is like a bit under 1/3, so roughly 30%-ish sizing. he might have just typed it in, as it looks like a real round number. And we see a check raise and a call. Small bet, all in, call. Beautiful. Beautiful on so many levels. First of all, what do I think about the defend here by BerriSweet? I think it's fine. It's probably very close to the bottom of his range. His hand is very connected, but yeah. Okay, so anyway, the pre-flop is fine by both. On the flop, a c-bet is totally fine. A check call is very interesting. BerriSweet is a great player, definitely. So I mean, let's face it. He's calling with a gutter on a flush board, so he has 3 clean outs, but he does have some backdoor straight outs, which are gonna be great. You know, it's gonna work out for him. Turn was a check raise by BerriSweet, which is obviously very good. A c-bet by Trueteller is fine. He picked up a gutter as well. He can apply a lot of pressure on BerriSweet. And on the river, it's pretty standard. So in fact, they're pretty standard. Pretty standard. Nothing happened here. Robbie Expert was joking apparently about wanting to see the 400, 200, 400 heads up thing. Oh well, serves you right for joking on Sunday. Now you're stuck looking at it, huh? Trueteller does battle anyone, yeah, that's true. I mean, no fear, yeah, but he's also pretty good. He does study a lot, and he has a bankroll to battle anyone, so, you know, why not? But both of these guys are obviously very, very good players. I don't know how MMA does this. Like just reviewing somebody else playing. I suppose, you know, if I had a co-host, like mostly he does have a co-host, and then it's fine. But when it's just me, like that, you know, I just remembered I didn't connect the proper internet, so let me do that. You might get an interruption for a second there. Sorry about that. I was really unprepared for this stream today, huh? Sunday. Yeah, you know what? I think this sucks. I don't have a co-host. What am I going to talk about? Most of the hands are going to be something that you guys can't learn from. It's obviously fun to watch. It's obviously interesting to see what these guys are doing. But let's face it, I mean, you try, replicate their game, good luck. You know, and mostly it's even unnecessary. They have so much history between themselves. So let's go back to basics. Let's go back to this 25 PLO game. Whoever just tuned in, I'm doing many things at the same time in the stream. So I don't even have a slightest clue what the stream is about. I just win some money. That's all we want. In fact, I'm gonna go back on my 500 PLO game, and again, hopefully, I can bring it up for you in the replayer. All right. This sucks. I mean, his stack size is very, but I mean, let's play it. How bad can it be? This is not optimal. Like this call, You know, because of how often this guy might just decide to go for some sort of raise, almost misclicked and min bet. That would be counterproductive. Now I will call. As much as this sucks with his stack size, it really sucks, but I will call. I don't expect him to be able to apply too much pressure unless he actually has a hand. So if let's say he has ace king 10 jack or so, ace king jack queen, because 10 obviously I don't want him to have a 10 with an ace. What happened here? Like does this guy, I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if he actually has aces or something. You know, I'm not gonna continue with my hand because whatever he has, he probably has me beat. It's pretty hard not to have me beat on this board once you check raise against two people. If I had the best hand, well, you know, I'm not gonna dwell on that. I'm gonna open here. Everybody's a bit deep except for one guy. Have a decision on this table whether I wanna. You see, there's a lot of leading going on the PLO500. Much more leading compared to the lower stakes or any other stakes, really. What do I want to do? Well, now is the time to bet. Fortunately, I'm not gonna bluff this hand. Oh, interesting. This is something I didn't expect. Hey, Robbie Expert. Yeah, it was a 25% viewership increase, but I doubt that it was because I was reviewing the 200 400 heads up for 2 minutes. But I guess you're still in your joking mode, which is cool. Great to have some guys having fun in the chat. At the higher stakes, like 510 plus, are regs and people playing for a living making more money at PLO or Hold'em? I actually don't know. It's a cool question. I like the question a lot because I would want to know the answer as well. Let's try to reason it out. After winning this hand, for example, that's going to be a nice cue for us to do some thinking. All right, I'm not gonna check raise here. I block too much of what he could continue with. Beautiful turn, beautiful river. Definitely betting here. Expect him to call with like aces and kings. If he doesn't, then it's also great for us. So Gartman's saying play and explain is better. Yeah, I agree. And I'm having more fun doing this than reviewing two guys battling. Like, I have no interest in that game, to be honest. Like, I will not play them heads up, either one of them, even if they would want to play like, I don't know, 25-50. I would still not play heads up against either one of them. So what am I gonna learn, really? Not much. Anyway, back to the question of who's making more money, Hold'em players or PLO players. I think good players make more money. That's about it. I mean, the games are running on both stakes, right? The win rates, I would assume, I don't know the win rates of the really good regs in Hold'em. So I don't think they're higher in either game. Like the very good regs, they make a lot of money. Whatever they play, the mediocre regs, they make decent money. And there's a bunch of break-even regs, right, who think they're regs. or can't face the fact that they're not really breaking out. And there's nothing wrong with being a break-even player as long as you're working on your game. You know, there's a bunch of people who would just be playing like silly amounts of hands, like non-stop, playing the 20 hours a day, or so it seems, but they don't improve. And of course they don't improve because the only thing they do is play. They don't work on their game off the table. They probably don't have a coach, probably don't work in a group with other people. So how are they ever going to improve, right? Just playing is also a way to improve if you're taking it as a practice, but most people don't. Okay, so time to start betting here. It's interesting that he should just snap check back here. Now it's a bit tricky. Like, I do expect that he might have an ace and still call us if we bet, but it's really tricky between a small bet and the check. I do like both plays. I'm gonna go with a small bet and call if he raises. And I do hope he raises because he might have a decent amount of an ace with hearts. I have a bit of a decision here. Well, not really. Not really. This guy just checked back, didn't see bets, so let's see what happens. And it's a beautiful, beautiful river for us. Obviously, we're gonna bet it, as I am bluffing it if I get a chance. And I do expect that, you know, that ace might have helped him a decent amount of the time. Well, obviously not that time, but never mind. Beautiful flop. I do go for a check raise, that didn't work. I'm gonna go check call, most likely. Big sizing. He plays very fast. That's interesting to note because I don't know what to say about it. Now, yeah, I was about to say, I clicked the check and then I thought about leading. That's sort of inaccurate from me because, you know, I really should have think before clicking, and it's sort of an autopilot thing because I had a hand at the other table at the same time while trying to talk and explain. That wasn't great. Yeah, you see, the lead here would have worked. I don't like his snap check flop, snap bet turn, like actually both plays. I mean, the snap part doesn't matter, but the plays themselves. In fact, you know what? I should focus a bit because I just think I made a mistake on the other table at the higher stakes. I don't love it. Whoa, by the way, how about that? I think actually we should review a few hands. Like, I'm gonna pull up the replayer and see what happened there. Maybe something super interesting because Trueteller basically just went from whatever he rebought. Let's see. The guy's steamrolling here. Anyway, back to my game. It's a pretty beautiful flop right here. It's a beautiful turn as well. Now, I do wanna do this. If he has ace-jack, well, I still have plenty of equity. In fact, he probably didn't because he just called again. I have a full house. He leads. I'm actually losing here a decent chunk of the time, but I'm gonna have to call. And I think this play was very... Oh, I timed out. Doesn't matter. I don't even want to see which hand I timed. I just hope I timed out pre-flop, that's all. But anyway, this is worth pulling up for you guys because, again, at the higher stakes, we see some more bullshit going on than lower stakes. So first of all, he should have 3-bet pre-flop with my stack because, like, I started the hand very, very shallow. Let me go all the way back. So 180. Let's say 180. I started with 180. He didn't 3-bet. He check calls. That's perfectly fine. He checks calls the turn. That's perfectly fine. But I really dislike his lead here, because what is he really trying to achieve? I guess he hoping that I have ace queen and I'm gonna call. You know, because all my bluffs now, and I have plenty of those, they have to just check like fold. Whereas, you know, if I, let's say for whatever reason I had like, you know, king 10, king queen 10 with spades or clubs or something, right? And he checks this river, of course I'm gonna bluff, but so he doesn't allow me to bluff, and then he only gets value from ace queen, but he loses to all the full houses. So really dislike the play. Right, let me just quickly glance at the chat. And in fact, I'm gonna make a note off screen on that guy, and then I'm gonna glance at the chat. Now you see, at this time, I would have preferred to have the HUD, not for the stats, that I don't care about, but more so for like, I would like to have an option of mark that hand for review and make my note after the game, because right now I'm just basically I was just basically wasting time making the notes. So this is unfortunate. I can't really continue. This is unfortunate, because we do have, or is it, we have double gutter and the backdoor flush draw. Let's go for it. Now that should slow him down a bit. If it doesn't, well, it slowed him down a bit, I suppose, but I'm gonna have to call. And that is interesting, because now what is he gonna do? Obviously I'm losing to queens and jacks, but I do expect him to have queen jack a decent amount of the time. Like, the question is, do I want to check raise here? No, because I don't expect to get value from worse. Obviously not folding here. Could have potentially get value from this ace high flush. Not sure about that, so maybe I missed the check raise there, but I don't really care. So let me think. So the question about Hold'em and PLO players, who's winning more, sort of covered it a bit. Like, yeah. If you want me to elaborate on that more, just let me know in the chat. I'm game for anything you guys want to hear. At what stakes did you stay the longest? Right. Let me think about that. I think the longest would have been I suppose, I mean, the longest actually is the 500 Zoom, right? So the 2-5 games, because that's still my main game, right? I do play like up to 25-50 online and up to whatever is running live, but my main game is the 2-5 Zoom, just because it's convenient and it always runs, and it runs at the time of the day when I want to play. So I suppose that's the stake that I stayed the longest at, time-wise, and in fact, yeah, I love that stake. I think it's a perfect stake. You know, I don't necessarily, like, if the 5-10 Zoom would be running regularly, I'd probably prefer that, but the 2-5 Zoom is definitely a great game. Apart from that, when I was like moving up to the stakes, let's say moving up to the 2-5 Zoom or the 500 PLO Zoom, I would say like the 1-2 was the one that I stayed longest. The other stakes, well, I didn't play much of the other stakes anyway. because I did transition from Hold'em, and I was doing really well in Hold'em at the time when I switched to PLO. In fact, I switched from mid-high stakes Hold'em to play PLO. Do I wanna? This is interesting. I'm sort of tempted to actually. This is for value, and let's see what happens. Nothing happens. Okay, that's also a result. Anyway, so yeah, the 1-2. So the 200 PLO games, I think that's where I was sort of stuck the longest, right? Because that was definitely a learning curve. Like anything leading up to that, it was always obvious what I need to improve. Like once I was at the 1-2, I realized that it's really hard to figure out exactly what I need to work on and how I need to work on that and who can help me and all these questions. And it took quite some time, in fact, right? Because in the end of the day, like if you're moving through the stakes, it's just the question of how much do you improve, and you don't really improve in the process of playing. You improve away from the tables. And most of the time, because in poker, the feedback from what you're doing is not easy to come by, right? Because of course you can see your win rates, and that's some sort of indication of whether you're improving or not. But apart from that, you don't get a lot of feedback. Like you don't have somebody telling you like, oh, you played 90% of the hands accurately or something like that, right? There's none of that. Unless you have a really good coach, right? Or unless you have a really good system that you developed yourself or adapted from somebody else that helps you with these things. Gonna go for a small bet. We don't have a monster at this stage, but that bet was for value, by the way, in case you were wondering. Now this bet is going to be for value as well, and I'm going to go small again. Just because I don't think he's able to call a big bet here very often. So it's a bit of an exploit, not necessarily anything else. Like, yeah, you can see that in this case, his bet is his call on the turn is pretty horrible. Call on the river is fine, but he shouldn't be seeing that river with that hand. So anyway, let me get back to the chat. I've been neglecting it for a bit. So which sides do I recommend for micro low stakes players playing PLO? I mean, PokerStars is definitely up there in terms of recommendation. The only problem with them is that rakeback really sucks. The other site would be Party Poker. In fact, I think Party Poker has a good spread of games, and there's always action. You can check out the what do you call them? The affiliate deals with Bluff the Spot. And go on our webpage or find out more about it. Because we have some really good affiliate deals with a few sites. And yeah, I mean, just go and use it. Get yourself a good deal, because rakeback is important. Like the PokerStars games are good, but again, the no rakeback thing really hurts. It really hurts when you're playing the micros, because the rake is so huge compared to the stakes you're playing that having none of the rakeback or like very limited rakeback actually ends up costing you a lot of money and slows down your progress through the stakes. I'm gonna have to just fold. All right, let me try to catch up on the comments. Microgaming has the lowest rake structure for PLO micros, but not sure how the games play. Yeah, thanks, Garten, for saying that. Microgaming is definitely up there as well. Again, I'm not sure. I don't. Obviously, I didn't play any of those games on any of the sites, so I don't know how the games play. But I would assume that the micros and the low stakes play pretty basic everywhere. And probably stars is one of the toughest fields for these stakes. Okay. Hey, D. Boris is here as well. Good to see you, man. We had a really nice stream with him, or at least I really enjoyed it on Friday. We're going to do another one at some time in the future. Definitely not next week. I'm going to be traveling the whole week. I'm not going to do any streams at all, in fact. But we're going to do another one with D. Boris whenever we can. Do I have an Instagram? No, I don't. You can message me on Twitter. Robbie Expert just posted it in the chat. Thanks for that, man. Instagram I don't have, and I think I won't have because, you know, I mean, I've been traveling for 3.5 months this year. Many cities in Europe, many countries in Europe, in the States, several cities, and I took maybe like 2 pictures on the whole trip. So that pretty much explains why I don't want to be on Instagram. What am I doing here? Well, I'm gonna just check and get a set on the turn. That was the plan. I just forgot to mention the set part to you guys, but I'm betting for value here. Show of Force. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate that. I'm glad to see you're more intrigued by PLO now. That's really cool. Well, whatever happened here, I'm obviously calling. I'm very suspicious of his check raise. Question is, how suspicious? Am I suspicious enough to call this river bet? I probably am. I am. Serves me right. It's a good play by him. He obviously went for a check raise on the flop, check raise on the turn. Well played. Show 4 is gonna play the mix. Mix is great, man. That's the way to make money. Should play all the games, or should know how to play all the games, because table selecting is so important. Whenever you see a good game and you can't play it just because you don't know how to, because of some of the games in the mix, you're at a big disadvantage. And also, the games, like some of the mixes, like 10 game, sometimes they play like 15 games, 16 games in the casino and the live games. Most of the time, most people don't even know how to play these games themselves, the people that play these games. So you're not really at a disadvantage if you only know how to play like half of the games good. Stack size situation is interesting. I guess I'm gonna check behind. Probably no reason to bet now. It would suck if a queen or a king rolls up, but it doesn't. I'm gonna definitely call this bet. Right, I let him get there, but that's fine. Because the thing to note here, the only thing to note here is actually how bad his call on a small blind was, considering his stack size. Like, he should never have the hand there. But since he won the hand, I assume he's gonna have this hand more and more often, which is great because he's gonna lose a lot of money there. doing this. Because again, it's coming back to the question of the feedback, which is lacking in poker. Like, unless you have a coach or unless you have a very systematic approach to studying the game, like, say this guy with that hand would be checking his stats after the session. Well, I assume this guy would never be checking his stats, but like, let's assume he would. And he would say like, oh, my win rate is all right. And this hand, he wouldn't have marked it as something for review. But in fact, if somebody tells him, listen, you know what, this was a big mistake, which you did pre-flop, he would probably be surprised. He would be like, really? Didn't know that. But nobody's ever going to tell him. So he's never going to find out unless he's watching. If you're watching, cheers. But I don't think anybody's ever going to tell him how. So he's going to keep doing this mistake until he's broke. Well, that was a bit, harsh by me. Good luck, sir. The whatever, I don't even remember the screen name, but good luck to you. I hope you improve. I hope you, or if you're playing for fun, just have some fun. Because not everybody's, especially these stakes, not everybody's playing to make money. Some people just, like to have fun. So he's leading twice, and a really weird sizing. That's really interesting. I mean, the 5-4 got there, the two pair are still good. Now the queen is sort of good for me because, the two pair that he might have had with like the 6 deuce is less likely to be betting here, although the sizing is still small. I do expect to lose this hand a lot, but I'm gonna call. He has 6s, in fact. I don't have a comment on that either way. It's fine. Well played. 3 aces. Oh, stack size situation not great. Gonna 3-bet, not gonna 3-bet. I'm gonna 3-bet. Yeah, I got one suit. All right, that's a decent flop. 6-5 is there, but apart from that, it's just an incredible flop for us. I am gonna bet big here, or am I gonna bet small here? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with my life? Now let's bet small. I do expect that he has like kings or something a decent amount of the time. I don't expect him calling 3 times against it, so I will check back and I will extract the maximum now from some flush draws, or maybe the minimum. Maybe he was calling 3 times if he had a flush draw. Snap call, so he probably did have a flush there. King high. Yeah, I got the minimum in this hand. Well done. I can pat myself on the shoulder, but again, it's against this hand. It's not against his total range. So what happened here? We have a new follower. That's awesome. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for following. Appreciate that. And look at this game. Now they're both sitting really deep. Now there's going to be some fireworks. Interesting. I'm still keeping an eye out on that, but I actually missed all the hands. I didn't see any showdowns, didn't see anything. And in fact, I forgot to play my 500 zoom on the side. Short attention span today. Oh well. Now, what happened here? Same guy, right? Yeah. A bit too weak to call close, but how are mid-stakes PLO games? Great. I think they're great. They're running. The fields are... I mean, the fields can be tough, but they can be very soft as well. And in between, So the games are good. I think, like, I like the games. I like the state of the games. I'm not sure how to compare them with Hold'em games, just because I haven't played Mid-Stakes Hold'em for a while. Um, so I don't know whether one field or the other is softer at this point of time. But the good thing is that the games are running. You can always find a mid-stakes game every day, pretty much any time of the day. Well, except for some obscure times when there's actually no game running, but it happens very rarely. So I did restart my 500 PLO game. Let's see what happens there. The field is still good. In fact, I wish I would be just playing 4 tables of that, and but then the stream would be less fun because I would be just mostly not talking because I'm not very good at this thing. Not very good at talking while playing. I do tend to time out a lot, autopilot a lot, and it's just. And I have no intention of trying to improve that because I'm a strong believer in that you need to, whenever you're playing, you need to play focused, like full focus, full attention. So I don't see any value in, improving my skill of commenting my own play while playing the game that I actually want to play. All right, we're gonna 3-bet here. If we see a 4-bet, we have a decision just because of the stakes we're playing, and I don't expect people to be 4-betting very light. This is notable. The guy with the short stack found the call there. I'm just gonna go for maximum here. Another follower. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate that. And no, it's a subscriber even. That's great. Thank you for subscribing. That's awesome. I appreciate that. I hope that means that you like what you're seeing. He had a set on 8-5-4, King 4-4. Which hand are we talking about? To be honest, I don't know. I have a decision on the other table. What am I gonna do about it? I'm gonna fold. Never mind. And thanks for following. Another follower. That's awesome. So who was playing? Show of Force is saying something about yesterday playing Linus, Heads Up, today playing Trueteller. So I guess BerriSweet was playing, but do you mean that he was playing PLO yesterday as well, or was it the Hold'em game? Because that would be sick if he played Hold'em. But I don't. Does he even play Hold'em at these stakes? I mean, I know that he tried to improve his mixed game recently, so maybe he is playing all the games now. I'm referring to BerriSweet, who is, by the way, probably one of the best PLO players at the moment. All right, I got a cool hand here, or hopefully a cool hand. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be a bummer, nothing interesting, but gonna raise. Don't really wanna see this guy continuing, so we're just gonna go for a raise and timeout on this table, whatever. That was pre-flop, I think. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Let me pull up this spot for you. I mean, I have both of the jacks. Oh, and I have. Wait a minute. Sorry for that, guys. I do have another decision on the other table, which I'm gonna probably lose some money and show it to you very shortly. What about this? Let's squeeze and let's call on the other table. All right. The bet here is gonna be 184. No, that sounds like a great number. So let's go for that. And did we win a hand? No, we lost a hand. We lost aces. No, we lost kings against aces on the other table. I'm gonna bring it up for you in a minute. To be honest, nothing interesting about that hand. I'm gonna check now. It's interesting that they both found a call. Now we do have a straight that he should bet. Doesn't always mean he has us beat, so I'm just gonna call. We have the same hand, but I free rolled into some money, so that worked fine. So let me sit out for a second because it's a bit hard to balance everything out. I want to show you some hands in the replayer while I'm still having some hands going on off screen. So that is a bit distracting. In fact, I sit out everywhere now. Okay, so here the reasons not to raise here would have been I do have the spade with the jack. I have two jacks and I have the clubs, but that's also a reason to raise because like I'm blocking some of his draws, so he might have a set which should still call against my raise. It wasn't even a pot size raise. If I don't raise, I can see this guy in, a spade coming on, etc. Kills my action, just ruins everything for me. So I think the raise here was optimal, was the way to go. And the next hand, this happened, but it wasn't really interesting. Like I opened under the gun, he 3-bet. On this board, he went with a small c-bet. I called, and then we just check it down, which is notable that he should check it down here. I assume he was obviously check calling. So pretty standard, nothing really interesting about that. Oh, so Trueteller was actually playing Linus heads up and Hold'em, and BerriSweet heads up in PLO. He is the boss. He is the crazy, crazy person. Very, very focused on what he's doing. I like his approach. I like, sorry that I lost my train of thought there because I did have another decision to make. But yeah, Trueteller is great. And he is up there with the best for a reason. He did put in a lot of hard work into his game. So by the way, I think I'm gonna play for another, I don't know, probably 15-20 minutes. And again, if something happens off screen and the higher stakes, I'm gonna pull it up for you. Otherwise, we're just playing this fun game. To be honest, I wasn't even really paying attention. Like, how the hell did I get this stack? I think I had to rebuy only once, so we're actually winning some money. I don't remember what happened. Like, was there anything super interesting? Oh yeah, I do remember now. I did get the runner twice. To be fair, we were getting it in on the flop both times with the good reasons. So Well, obviously calling now. Not super happy about the situation, but I am super happy now when I see his hand. But let's review what he did. Well, the only objection from me against his play is I think his bet sizing on the flop was a bit too big, but other than that, what else is he gonna do? I think I was about to say if everybody checks, now would be the time for me to try to get some value, but he bet for me. I have a decision on the other table, which yeah, okay, so back to this one. I find his line very weird. I'm not gonna fold. And yeah, indeed, it was a weird line. But he can keep making those. I don't mind. If that makes him happy. So what happened here? Bottom set, going for a big, meaning I'm gonna bet 3 times, and I'm gonna check down this hand on the other table. And in fact, that's probably interesting. Let me just sit out so that we don't time out in background. Anyway, what happened here was, unfortunately, you didn't see the hands, but so I opened, he called, and we go check, 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 and that's what he had. And why am I showing this to you is because this is one of the hands that I would definitely make a note about myself. All right, so you can guys figure it out for yourself and make notes on hands like this whenever you're playing. Okay, stack size alright, so let's just... Hey Robbie Expert, you're out. Thanks man, thanks for being here. Always good to see you in the chat. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next time. I do have a double gutter now on a flush draw board, so not very optimal. I guess the pot size bad. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm just gonna fold, so let's just speed it up. Oh, he did have a king. Alright. I didn't think he would be betting all of his kings on this board on the turn, but apparently he was, if he was betting the king jack. Good for him. I'm not saying that's a bad play. Yeah, maybe next time I'll not keep tables off the screen, because it is, first of all, it's a bit distracting for me, and second, you know, you guys are getting a bit of a silence pause sort of from me because I'm trying to think, trying to act, and it's all off screen, and it's probably not very cool for you. What am I gonna do here? I'm just gonna check. Obviously calling if he does bet. Now we do have the nuts, and it's time to try to get some value if he does have a flush. He doesn't. Hey, we have another follower. Thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Timed out, but I was folding that hand anyway, so far I timed out 3 times, and I don't even know what. Well, no, actually I timed out more. Timed out 3 times while I saw it, and then I timed out in the background while I was pulling up either the other table or Trueteller's table. By the way, that game broke just now, and yeah, the replayer as well was coming over. Theoretically, I shouldn't defend here, but I think people might not play really good four-way here, so let's just see what happens. We might be able to steal the hand, steal the pot at some point. Shit, I was almost timing out on the other table. Hey, another follower. It's really cool. I'm happy to see you guys following. I do have a decision of whether I want to bet here for value, and I think I don't. Yeah, it wouldn't have. He wouldn't have called anyway. But I'm really surprised to see that, you know, today, actually the funniest hands, or like the worst played hands by anyone, were actually on the higher stakes table, in the Zoom 500, which I have off screen. It was really surprising. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting this game to be very, as it usually is, you know, with a lot of stupid stuff going on. But today, I don't know, there were like a few, like I see a lot of small mistakes, and haven't seen anything that was outrageous so far. But on the other table, in the 500 PLO, we saw 2 ridiculous plays, and obviously that's great for us because we were on the winning side. Okay. Oh, nice. This worked out great. Let's play this hand out. Where did the table go? This is not great. All right. We do have a straight, and I'm gonna bet big. So what happened here? He opened on the cutoff. I called on the button. He checks, which he, of course, he's gonna mostly check on this board. He should, and he goes for a check raise. This is really, really, really surprising, and it's like a clickback as well. And the thing is, I probably just want to get it in. If he has, okay, let's see what happened here. Yeah, I don't know. Like his clickback is weird. It was really weird. I'm gonna think about it after. Not sure what to make of this hand. By the way, I know that I said I'm gonna play just a bit over an hour, but it's coming to 1.5 hour mark. I'm still having fun, so I'm gonna keep it rolling for a bit, but not too long. I have a bunch of stuff to do today, so I'm gonna wrap it up soon-ish, probably like another 10 minutes or so. But I do want to wait for some fun games. Oh, so Trueteller and Barry are now playing the 1-2K mix. Heads up, that's cool. That's good info. Thanks for letting us know. It's interesting. I assume Trueteller might actually be the better player in mix there. But I know that Barry was really working on his game lately as well, so I suppose, I don't know, it would be, that one actually would be really interesting to watch. Now, what's going on here? He pots it and he pots it again. I'm suspicious considering that I do have a king. So I am gonna call, and I'm not sure I'm gonna bet for value here. Oh man, this really sucks. This does suck. What am I gonna do? It's interesting that he should pot and pot again. I had a decision on the other table. I'm gonna pull it up for you in a moment, unless it's ugly. I'm kidding, I'm gonna pull it up anyway. But what happened here? I do block the king, which really sucks, and I do block. I mean, I'm not gonna fold. He has me beat a decent amount of the time, but I think he should have. Like, wait a minute, what is he block? Well, he does have bluffs, so let's just call. Yeah, of course. Here we go. I don't know why I tanked so long for that hand. Sort of got confused. I don't know. Don't like it. I should have just called quickly. Anyway, what happened here on the other table is it's kind of interesting. So I defend, we're 3-way to the flop. The flop is decent for us, and he makes, maybe it was a misclick. I don't know. Maybe a misclick. Let's give him a benefit of a doubt, because if it's actually a bet, well, let's see his showdown. I still haven't checked what hand he showed up with. Obviously, we call. Brilliant card on the turn. It checks around, and I did go for value here, hoping that, you know, an 8 is gonna call. King X is still calling some of the time, especially if it's this guy. He calls, and he had. Alright, he did have an 8. So probably it wasn't even a misclick. He actually went for a funky blocking bet. Interesting. That's something to note. I want to see if he keeps doing this, because I would assume it's super hard to balance it out, so it's very exploitable. If it's actually a play, I still think it probably was a misclick. And this hand, what happened here, so he bluffed a hand that makes a lot of sense. To bluff there, yeah, it's pretty standard, nothing noteworthy. I somehow always end up with like 500 big blind stack when I'm streaming here at these stakes. That's cool. I'll take it. Okay, so we do have a 9. We are a bit deep. Considering we're deep, I hope he's gonna be more prone to making some moves. So let's see if he does. I hope it's a move. have a sort of decision on the other table. I'm gonna just call. Okay, so here, yeah, of course I'm calling. That was the original plan, to induce some bullshit. I'm checking again. Now, probably if he has a 9, I think he's calling any bet. So let's go for this one. Let's see what he had. Oh, he had 5s. He wasn't making a move. It sort of was. We're so deep that, yeah, 5s. It worked out for him though. I mean, it went very friendly. He lost not so much money, and he was ahead when he was making his raise, and he had positions. So of course, it's a great play. What else can I say about it? Oh, I'm not even gonna bring it up for you. But on the other table, we had quite an interesting hand going on. Do I want to squeeze here, or do I want to just call? I'm just gonna call this guy suspiciously short for just cold calling here on the cutoff. Don't like the look of that. I'm just gonna go and play very simple. Yeah, unfortunate, but I'm just gonna have to fold. Feels a bit gross to fold a top pair, but this is not Hold'em, so this is Sparta. Yeah, so Gartman also thinks Trueteller has edge in the mix. I do believe that he does, but you know, Trueteller, I mean, BerriSweet is really good at all aspects of poker, including game selecting. So if he decided to agree to playing that game, I suppose he has a very good reason. So maybe the edge of Trueteller is not even that big, if there's any. In fact, I don't know. We don't know. Maybe Barry was in the lab for the last 3 months or something. I don't know. Nah. All right, let's do so that let's play one hand that seems noteworthy, and after that I'm just gonna sit out on the next big blind and call it a day. Okay. Does feel like a nice spot to 4-bet, and I'm gonna do that. Of course, it sucks if he would have found a 5-bet. That's like aces every time. Not the best board, but of course I'm stacking off here. Nothing else to do. I'm gonna 3-bet on the other board. Sorry, not the board, but the other table. And we hold up. That went fine. So what kind of stack size do we have now? 700 big blinds? I think so. That's good. I'm happy. And on this table, I'm just gonna. Shit. Wow, I'm running good today. That has to be said. On the other table, I just backed into some runner flush on the first board. It was a 3-bet pre-flop, and all of the money went in on the flop. I did c-bet. I did pot it on this board. I had a gutter double flush draw, double backdoor flush draw, of course, and you know, a bunch of backdoor straights and stuff. So I thought that mostly, like even against the jack, I do have the equity, and it went fine. Let's play our trips the way trips are supposed to be played. Okay, now let's make this type of bet and see what kind of thing he finds in his arsenal. If he somehow has a 3 here with his stack size, I can only say good luck to him for the future. If he has aces, again, same. Oh, he does have a 3, and I do get my 9. I don't really feel sorry for him, so I wouldn't say sorry, but it's cool. This session I've backed into some, some luck. That's cool. I'll take it. Another follower. Thank you very much. Keep on following. By the way, just for you guys who haven't heard me say that before today, I am going to be traveling the next 2 weeks, so I'm going to be less present, or not present, in fact, on Twitch, because I'm just going to be on the road the whole time. Do expect to see me back after that, though, of course. If you want to reach out to me, easiest way is to get me on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter, send me a private message, or just whatever you feel like. I'm usually quite responsive on Twitter and try to answer everyone who has any questions. And I'm just about to bring up my Twitter link here for you in the chat in case you guys want it. Here it is. Okay. So yeah, on Twitter, I mean, don't expect much from my Twitter. I'm basically mostly just posting about my schedule on Twitch, and I do ask questions from the followers, like whatever you guys would want to see. So you can have a voice there and sway me into doing one or the other thing on stream. And of course, I mean, sometimes I would post something noteworthy as well, but haven't been that active in social media just yet. I had a question earlier about whether I'm on Instagram or something. I'm not, and I'm not gonna be, or at least I don't think I'm gonna be, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so a pretty deep spot, beautiful flop. Question is, do I feel that my hand is good enough to try to get the maximum by leading here? I'm in a tricky spot if he raises. Just as I said that, he does raise. And that sucks. I mean, he definitely does have straights some of the time. I'm not gonna fold here. This should either slow him down or he just has it. And then I can safely fold. So in fact, I don't like my lead on the flop, but I did it, so I have to live with it. We were just a bit too deep for that. But still, I don't know. The only way I could, like, I don't see how I can call the turn. Like, if he doesn't have me beat on the turn, then I suppose he specifically has to have, like, aces with 1 diamond, and that's an ace of diamonds, but then why the hell did he raise the flop? So somehow feels that he won the minimum in that hand, probably. Although, I mean, he got a raise in, so he did well. Alright, I'm just gonna wait till I'm on the big blind, and then I'm gonna click sit out next big blind. That's gonna be easier than just to wait for a noteworthy hand. Had the annoying hand on the other table. I'm not even gonna bring it up because it's not really informative or anything. It's just a bad run out for myself. So nothing too important. Okay. And he pots it. Does it really mean he has kings? Probably. So let's call. Yeah, that's the other option. And that's why we call. Oh, by the way, I am the big blind right now, right? I said I'm gonna sit out the next big blind once I see the big blind, so almost missed it. Suppose you guys wouldn't be complaining if I was streaming for another half hour, but I think we did cover enough today. Probably less informative than usually. Like usually I would focus more on the hands and more on the decisions. And I like that, but usually I am playing just one table. Right now I have other tables on the side. And I am bringing up some replayer for you, but mostly, I can't focus on every hand in this table that much. And in fact, I don't know, but really it feels that today people were playing a bit more solid than the last time. And the last time was on Wednesday. I don't assume it's because they watched my stream and everybody improved. Well, maybe that would be great, wouldn't that? Wouldn't that be great? But it's very, very, very unlikely. Oh, and that's it. Okay, so as per usual, let's try to sum up what happened. Let me first sit out on the other table so that doesn't distract me. What happened was, apart from the fact that, my stream was a bit all over the place and I started out playing the PLO25, added some PLO500, tried to review a bit of Trueteller against BerriSweet heads up, which I think all was fun anyway, at least it was fun for me. But I think today I didn't see as much crazy stuff as per usual, at least at these stakes. Like on the other table, on the 500 PLO, I did bring up a couple hands for you guys. Overall, was it as instructive as usual? I'm not so sure. We didn't really see many spots where we could talk theory that much. But I hope you guys liked it. I had fun playing and I had fun streaming and interacting with you out here. Again, the next stream is probably going to be either in 2 weeks or 3 weeks because I am going to be traveling the next 2 weeks. So like the first week of April, I might join Arthur for another stream together with him and we would review some of his footage as we did a couple times before. So that would be cool. If that doesn't happen, then I'm just going to see you all in 3 weeks. As always, you can see the schedule wherever we're posting it, wherever you usually see it, and feel free to, or in fact, I encourage you to follow me on Twitter, because you're definitely going to get updates from me there, and you can interact with me there. Send in your questions, requests, whatever else you would like. Thank you everyone for watching. As always, I appreciate everyone in the chat. It's super nice that you're here. Yeah, so anyway, have a great Sunday. See ya.